All the side effects, yeah. I have a chiropractor and an acupuncturist. I don't really, I go to a doctor periodically, but I never need to. But if my husband pesters me enough, I'll go get like those. But they're always going, "You're so healthy," you know. I was just telling Dr. Jones that I just got my first. This is Dr. Jones. He's a really good chiropractor.
Dr. Jones is a chiropractor, huh? Yeah, she's bragging on you, man.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hey Johnny.
Nice meeting you, man. Okay.
Hey John.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
You got a lot of good people watching in, but the video needs to be turned the other way if possible.
Seriously?
I think so, yeah, because when I turn it, it turns you sideways. And we're looking at you guys sideways.
So
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah, you live in Marcus.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be up and down, brother.
Because we have to turn. I had it plugged into the power. I can't plug it into the power now.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
No.
Can you find a way to plug it into power?
No, it won't. It won't do it like that. But hopefully we'll have enough battery then.
Well, I wonder. Turn it the other way. Turn it the other way again. And then what I'll do.
Does it work?
Okay, so you plugged in now?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I am.
You are.
We can. We'll just film it. We'll film it the other way then.
Yeah, like that. Okay, keep it like that.
Okay.
Keep it like that. Don't move.
Filming this across the United States and also.
Wow.
Good. Good day. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
So nice to meet you. Oh, thank you.
Using the camera on the phone to just
Thank you.
Come on now.
So that's how people consider demo.
Yeah.
Setting the whole.
Is this gonna be, okay, you know what? What about this?
So this is for new people. This is our
That's how it's working.
like if you have somebody who wants to watch the demo, here you go. Oh, is it the team? Okay. Tim?
We had enough for last time.
There you go.
Hi. What is this?
Tim?
How long before you start?
Yes, I was San Diego, Los Angeles.
Oh no. Yeah, that's okay. We'll start with that.
How are you?
How long before you guys start?
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
Good to see you
Good to
again.
see you. Yes, yeah.
Hi, I'm Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, Larry. I'm Dave.
Dave, nice meeting you. All right. Who forgot the water? You know what? I did.
No, I didn't forget. We
I
forgot.
did.
We had
Two cars.
two
That's
cars, and it's in my
Oh.
car, and I went. and
So I gotta go back
decided to
Oh.
I sat down,
I can do
put
it
my
now.
shoes on, drove,
Where is it?
Part way in there and then the
5 minutes.
sushi place.
5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, do it. Do it, because that way we'll know what you're drinking.
Yeah.
Tamika,
I
what
know
exit
this
do
is-
you take to go home? What exit do you take to go home?
Yeah.
Have a good
Yeah. Really good place.
Oh, yeah?
It's a kind of our go-to place.
Where is it
Quiet.
It's right in
I guess, I'm a fast driver.
Best to be safe, right?
We'll just go. We'll wait because we have a couple coming. Testimony or something.
Testimony. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to turn off the music. Can you ask him? He's behind you. Oh, John. How do we? Oh, it just went up.
I'm hearing water.
I don't know what's going on anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, guys. Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Hi, yeah.
All right. I'll take these pretty glasses off.
Beautiful.
So, John, introduce everybody to everybody. Let's get the show on the road that's recorded, I mean, time is money. Let's go.
Hey, this is our show, okay?
Okay. I'll be quiet now.
Down, boy.
Down, boy. I like her.
Hey, babe. This is my husband, Karen. Oh, you met him.
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
See, look at my screen, John.
Hello. Nice to see you again.
See. Hey, guys.
No, this is just, I guess they didn't have a meeting and assume that meeting probably was not.
It's a demo. It's gonna do a demo.
I'm gonna
Guess
pause.
we can plug in later or something.
Are still coming, but they'll be here. So thank you for coming tonight. It's always enjoyable to share what's happening with this water. And I'm excited because John got to come up from Redondo Beach, and John's been involved with the water for 10 years now. And he's amazing in that he talks to so many people. He works with CrossFits, he works with coaches, he works with doctors. He's learned and done so much, and goes to Ukraine, all these different areas. He's an ambassador for the American Anti-Cancer Institute. And so I'm just really honored that he's able to come up, and thank you for spending time with us. And he's going to present and share. I know you're going to learn a lot. So,
All right.
John.
All right, guys, how we doing today?
All right.
Okay. Want to welcome everybody out in
Morgan Hill.
Morgan Hill and also in Quebec, Canada, and Toronto, and everybody else around the world. And I'm ready to get right into this because I know you guys are wanting to hear about this. So this is basically how it all began. Some research was done in the 1950s, and I don't know if we've heard about this before. Oh, wait, my help here. So research was done in the 1950s where there's these healing sources of water. And I don't know if you've heard these sources of water before, but there's one in Lourdes, France, Nordau, Germany, Tacoti, Mexico, and Delhi, India. Ever heard these water sources before? There's over 40,000 people a day that line up at these locations to get their water because the people who go there claim it has healing properties with diabetes, high blood pressure, aches, pains, etc. And so what we did is we studied each one of these water sources and found they all had one thing in common, and that's active hydrogen, better known as alkaline water. Now, let me also preface this by saying we don't claim the water treats, cures, or prevents any types of sicknesses or diseases, but it puts your body back into balance so it can heal itself, okay? Now, there's also Dr. Henry Konda. I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Henry Konda before, but he's one of the top scientists in the world. And Dr. Henry Konda was fascinated with the Hunza people. Have you guys heard of the Hunza people? No? Okay. The Hunza people are famous because they live to be 140 years old and having babies in their 80s.
Hey, John,
And very little sickness or disease.
if we can
And
just,
so
if we can
we
move
wanted
the
to find
camera
out why
just a
they're
little
able to
bit.
live so long, and found the reason they live so long is because of the water that they drink. It's very high in antioxidant. It's also microclustered. It's also very, very alkaline, formed naturally through the glaciers. So our company decided to create a machine that
Thank you.
could duplicate these waters, even up to 1,000 times stronger than these locations. Now, these are some of the certificates that we have. This right here is FDA approval in Japan. It's much harder to get FDA approval in Japan than it is in the United States, and we actually have that right here. This right here is the top doctors in Asia. There's 6,500 of them, and they use it and they endorse it on all their patients. This right here is ISO certification. This is FDA, some other ones here too. This is our newest one. This is WQA. This certifies can be used in a hospital, clinic, restaurant, etc., without being pulled out by the health authorities. So it can legally be put in there. Anything else is not legally able to be put in there. And there's also Chick-fil-A restaurants. You heard of Chick-fil-A, right? Okay. They just did an independent study, and it looks like they're going to be buying 6,300 machines and putting them, placing them in every single restaurant. Actually, placing one in the front and one in the back. So, and that's because of the disinfecting quality, which I'm going to be talking about here in a minute. Now, a couple other things about the company. It's a 40-year-old privately held company. It's an original equipment manufacturer, top industry leader. We're members of the Better Business Bureau with an A rating. We're also the members of the Direct Selling Association. We have numerous awards and endorsements. We have offices all over the United States and all over the world. Now, these are some of the machines that we make. This is our K8. This is like our newest and greatest machine. This is the SD501. We have the SD501 in platinum. This is like our flagship model. We also have the Junior, the Level Up R, the shower unit, the industrial machine, and the under-the-counter sink unit. So today, we're going to be talking about the K8. That's the one we actually sell most of the time. And it's that one we have right here in the kitchen. Now the K8, and just like the other ones, it makes 5 different types of water. So over here in the right, these purple buttons all make the drinking water. So down here, we have, it makes an 8.5, a 9.0, and a 9.5 pH drinking water. So we normally start a person off at 8.5, keep a person there for a couple days, then we move them up to 9.0, keep the person there for a couple more days, then we finally move them up to 9.5. And that's where you want to stay, hydrate, detoxify your body. The next water on here is a green one. That's nothing really special about that. This is just our plain filtered water. The next water on here is a yellow one. That is our beauty water. Now, women go to the store and they'll buy toner at $30, $40, $50 a bottle. We know about toner, right, women? Okay. And when you spray toner on your face, what it does, it brings the pH of your skin back to 6.0. Right? That's exactly what this water does too. So this water tones, tightens, and softens your skin better than anything. Takes years off your skin. So I like to use it before I shave, after I shave, etc. The next water on here, the orange one, that's my favorite water. This is a strong acidic water. This water will kill all bacteria and all germs. It's 100 times stronger than bleach at killing bacteria and germs. It kills Ebola, Salmonella, E. coli, MRSA, anthrax in 20 seconds or less. So the surgeons in Japan, they don't use soap and water to wash up before surgery. All they use is this water. They wash all their surgical equipment with this water. Chick-fil-A did an independent study and used the top 3 cleaners in the United States for restaurants, as well as the top 3 cleaning machines. And this water outdid them all as far as killing bacteria and germs. So they love the machine because they can use it. It's environmentally friendly, right? It's just water, right? And they also save money. So you can also take, for instance, some fish or some chicken, and you can wash it in this water, just soak it in this water, and it'll kill off the Salmonella, E. coli, etc. So you can smell this water. I'm going to pass that around. Now, while it's making, oh, by the way, this water is the #1 thing used in Japan for psoriasis, atopic dermatitis, rosacea, acne, eczema, gangrene, and skin cancer. So you just spray it on your skin. And they also use it for cataracts too.
Hey, John, if we could just make sure nobody's in front of the camera, please.
What's that?
we can just make sure nobody's in front of the camera.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
that would be you.
All right.
You don't like
You might want to tell.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Now, going back to what I was talking about. But the nice thing about this water is it's really, really safe. So you can use it for mouthwash. You can take it.
Like bleach. It does.
And you can also use it for, you don't have to, but when you use it for the mouthwash, you normally just, spit out in the sink. You can also take it right in your eye. Use it for like MRSA or like pink eye, things like that. But, if I were to do this with bleach or industrial cleaner, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to send me to the hospital, right? So this is great when you can use it for restaurants and things like that, because if somebody, sprayed this backwards and this was a chemical and they sprayed it in their face, it's like, oh, now you go to the hospital. But this is like, I spray it in my face and actually going to give me like a condition my skin, believe it or not. So that's the strong acidic water right there. While it's making the strong acidic water, at the exact same time it's making this water here. This is our strong alkaline. So we have very acidic and very alkaline. This water takes stains out of carpet, blood out of clothing. I have a carpet cleaner in Virginia. He bought 6 machines. He makes about 5,000 gallons a day. He cleans carpets with this water. He just bought another 6 machines. And then he bought 3 for his house, and also the shower unit. So he just bought 6 more. He's had 6 machines for over 3 years, and he just bought 6 more last week. So he loves that. Now, those are the different waters. It also has 8 platinum-coated solid titanium plates, speaks 8 languages, and then it has a universal transformer, so you can use it anywhere in the world. It has industry's best self-automated cleaning system, creates medically approved Congo-grade water, and has a 25 to 30-year plus life expectancy. Now, we're going to talk about the drinking water. The drinking water has 3 different properties. It's very high antioxidant. It's also microclustered. It's also very, very alkaline. Now, what happens after you cut an apple open at about the first 20, 30 minutes? It turns brown, right? And that's called oxidation. We know that oxidation equals sickness equals aging. We also know that antioxidants act as anti-inflammatory and also anti-aging. Now, this is actually a picture of our company founder, Mr. Hironari Oshiro, and his business advisor. And most of the time when I ask people how they think Mr. Oshiro looks, most people say that he looks like he's about 45 years old. And his business advisor, most people say that he looks like he's about 75 years old, right? But the amazing thing is, these guys are both the same age. They're both 75 years old. Now, Mr. Oshiro's been drinking the water for over 35 years, so he's like a walking billboard for the company. But they're both Japanese. And the amazing thing is, this was actually me 10 years ago. And you see, I was totally transformed the way I feel, the way I look. And I'm just kidding.
Good.
Yeah, all right.
You're a little taller than him.
A little taller than him. How about now? Okay. Now, the amount of antioxidants you maintain in your body is directly proportional to how long you will live. That's according to the National Institute of Health in Washington, D.C. Now, speaking of antioxidants, this is an antioxidant chart. ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential. So anything in the positive is increasing oxidation or the aging effect or the rusting effect. So over here, we've got bottled water, tap water, sport drinks, sodas. The higher the number, the more oxidizing effect it has on your body. Anything in the negative is having an anti-rusting or anti-aging effect. Okay. So over here, we've got vitamin C, green tea, cod liver oil. So we're going to take a look at these beverages here. But before we do this, if I can get Kimberly to just man the camera, I'm going to come over here. And this is dishonest water, or Dasani. This is voted worst product by Consumer Reports of all products made. This is actually so bad it's banned in Europe.
So, okay, so
Keep it the right side up, what it is, and just bring it a little bit toward me, like you see the camera. All right, and this is Aquafina, made by Pepsi. This is Nestle Pure Life. Okay, so just to give not to do all these here, but just to give you a couple. Then we take the Kangen water. What's that? So you got the Kangen water, and we got this light bulb here. We're going to pull out.
Hard to tell.
it's hard to tell if it's on you, John. Is it on you?
Yeah, it's good. You see down the corner there. Okay, so, you got a question?
Yeah, the Arrowhead, is that the bottle I bought?
No,
No?
I'm gonna do those in a minute.
Oh, okay.
So here we go with Dasani water. You can see that nothing's really happening to the light bulb here, right? Here we go with Aquafina.
So what's the light bulb again? Would you explain
It's
that?
you'll see. And here we go. See what's happening to the light bulb there?
Oh.
Yeah, pretty amazing, isn't
What
it?
does that mean?
Well, I have no idea. No, just kidding.
You just,
Okay,
So-
lights
it's
up.
a fun trick.
Yeah, so what happens is our bodies are electrical, right? We're electrical beings, right? We have electricity flowing through us, our brains, our spinal cord, etc. And with this water, because of the electrical charge in it, and the especially negative electrical charge on the calcium, I can say that 10 times fast. On the calcium magnesiums, okay, it's able to send better synapses throughout your brain, throughout your body, throughout your spinal cord, etc. So you can think clear, etc. Okay, make sense? Okay, that's why it's used in Japan a lot for Alzheimer's, ADD, ADHD, bipolarism, etc. Now, going back to our ORP here. So we got our waters here. We have, this is also our life water. And we'll test this one out. Boy, we got a lot of waters up here. Okay.
We
so
do, we have a couple extra that was brought in, and
That
so
was
I don't know
my
how you want
water.
to,
This
That's
one?
my water.
okay.
So we have a
And-
mystery water number one.
Just so you know, Karen's a nurse.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And we have, what do we have?
Okay,
That's
so that's our
pathetic.
reverse
This one,
osmosis.
okay, let's add one here. How about, which one is this? one?
Larry, I think. wants some
So
water.
these
Larry,
three,
is this yours?
That's mine.
Yours? Okay.
No, I bought mine in
His
what is the Arrowhead bottle?
This is right
Okay,
Like
here.
that.
okay,
yeah.
so let's do these right here. Okay, so this is Larry's,
Yes.
Mhm.
okay? So here we go,
do
Larry's.
you want to get rid of the Nestle Light?
Yeah, we can. Okay, here we have mystery water here. This is yours. Okay. Here we go with Gatorade, which represents all your sport drinks. And here we go with some Perrier. This represents all of your sparkling water, San Pellegrino, Canada Dry, all those. Right next to that, we have some 7-Up. This represents all your soft drinks, Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Mountain Dew, Red Bull, etc.
So she brought 3 years,
That's just regular
Kirkland,
Costco.
as well as for sink water.
Okay.
right here. Okay.
Here is tap water and the Kangen water. So we already got the Kangen water poured. So let's make sure there's a center here. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I got my ORP meter here. And we're going to test these waters out to see where they are in the antioxidant quality. Now look at the chart over there. You can see that we want something that is negative, right? Not something that's positive. So let's try these out here. Let's make sure we wash this off, disinfect it, just to make sure we're not getting any residue. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go with the Dasani water. And you can see it's calling quickly. What's that at? 600 what? 650? Okay, so about 630, right?
Yep.
Okay, here we go with Aquafina. What's that at? 630? Okay,
Going down.
Positive.
positive, okay. This is Nestle Pure Life, right?
No, we don't know.
Okay. Or this is Life Water, right? Okay, here's Life Water,
600.
600, okay. Also bad. Here is Mystery Water. What's that at?
595, 600.
Okay,
Just keep it
positive.
till it stops.
So it'll jump around a little bit. It always never really stays at one
Okay.
position. Here is Mystery Water number 2. Is yours, Larry?
Yes, it is.
Okay, what's that at? 550, also bad. Here's filtered water. What's that at? 570, okay. Here we go, Gatorade. What's Gatorade at?
Ooh, 660.
616, okay.
60.
60, okay. Here is Perrier. What's that at?
Just under 600,
Okay, about 580,
590.
590, okay. Here is 7-Up, representing all your soft drinks, Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Mountain Dew, Red Bull.
650-ish.
Okay. Here we go with tap water,
500.
500, okay. And here we go with Kangen water. What's that at?
Going down.
Going fast. It's a
Negative.
negative now.
That's the negative.
Negative what?
Negative
370,
375.
380. Up 380.
380, negative 400, okay. Is that good or bad?
Careful, it's gonna
That's
fall
good.
off.
Thanks. That would be the first accident.
Good
of the
side
year.
So what pH level is that?
9.5.
9.5.
Okay. So that's why 1 glass of this water has more antioxidants than 30 glasses of green tea. So what the water does, it goes through the machine, gets filtered through a 7-stage carbon filter. The water runs across these platinum plates, shoots electrolysis in the water, takes an H2O molecule and snaps off the hydrogen. So what you have left is a hydrogen oxygen that takes a negative electron and throws it around that, turning it into an antioxidant. Now, 1 free radical can kill 2 million healthy cells in a minute, right? And the average cell of your body gets attacked 15,000 times a day by free radicals. So this water acts like a scavenger water and goes to those free radicals and binds to them like a magnet, neutralizes them, and then dispenses it out of your body. So Dr. Horst Filzer, who invented the vascular stent, he says the 2 greatest discoveries in his life is Kangen water and Harvard University, where he graduated top of his class, has been teaching at for over 30 years. Now, Dr. Filzer says you couldn't eat enough fruits and vegetables throughout the entire day to get the antioxidants you get in just 1 glass of the water. So that's the first property of the water. Okay. The second property of the water is the alkalinity. This is Dr. Otto Warburg. He actually won the Nobel Prize for cancer. And he says all cancer, all disease, all sickness comes from an overacidic body. So what he would do is he would take tumors in animals and found there's a blood supply that went into the tumor and a blood supply that went out of the tumor. And he found when the blood supply went out of the tumor, the blood became very acidic. So he put very alkaline blood back into the tumor and finding it shrinking and going away. So your blood is how much percentage of water? 90.
A lot.
90, a lot. That's
I
right.
know it's a lot.
The word for tonight is a lot, right? Your body is 75% water. So if this Kangen water is 100,000 times more alkaline than what you've been drinking before, what do you think that's going to do to your body, right? He also says if you starve a cell of oxygen for more than 48 hours, it'll most likely turn cancerous. So the best way to get oxygen into our cells is with the water that we drink. Dr. Alan Levine says most cancer patients in this country die of chemotherapy. Did you know that a doctor in the United States will lose their license if they use anything other than chemo or radiation for cancer? Right, nurse? Right? And according to Oncology Magazine, 80% of doctors who use chemotherapy and radiation on their patients wouldn't use it on themselves or their family. Why would you take it then, right? The doctor's not going to take it. And according to that same article in Oncology Magazine, only 3% of people who get chemotherapy live more than 5 years. So this is Dr. Linus Pauling. He's actually won more medical awards than other doctor in the past 200 years. He's also won 2 Nobel Prizes. And this is what he says when your body gets too acidic. In your arteries, eats away the lining, gets plaque a foothold. In your joints, it erodes vital cartilage and leaves joints painfully inflamed. In your skin cells, causes premature wrinkling, dry, brittle nails, and lifeless hair. Attacks the lungs, liver, and pancreas. Wears down muscle mass. In your bloodstream, it lowers your body's defenses. And then your body tissue drains calcium from your bones. You guys know what osteoporosis is caused from?
Lack of calcium.
Most people say lack of calcium, right? That's what happens further downstream. But when you go to the source, what happens is your body gets so acidic that it goes to your bones and pulls calcium magnesium out of the bones to neutralize the acidity. Just like when you get acid reflux. Like most people will take like Tums or Mylanta, right? What's the main ingredient in Tums and Mylanta? Calcium magnesium. So you see that the water is so alkaline, it neutralizes the acidity in your body. so it doesn't need to drain calcium from your bones anymore, okay, etc. Also, slows down human growth hormone secretion and zaps your sex drive and damages delicate enzymes. So make sure our bodies are alkaline, not acidic, right? Now, this is what the brightest mind in medicine says. Everyone should know that most cancer research is largely a fraud, that the major cancer research organizations are derelict in their duties to the people who support them. Now, speaking of it, this is a book on voltage. We're all electricals, right? We talked about earlier. And if you put a voltage meter, hook a voltage meter to somebody, you can measure the amount of voltage in a person. Now, any cancer patient is going to be about a positive 30 voltage, according to this doctor. Any healthy person is going to be about negative 25. Cancer can't survive in the negative 80. We saw what those other waters were, right? Positive 500, positive 700. We saw what the common water was, right? Negative 400. So it brings up the voltage in your body, so it helps fight off sickness and disease, and that directly corresponds to the pH or the alkalinity in your body. So the lower or the more negative the number, the higher the pH. Now, speaking of pH, this is actually an alkalinity chart or pH chart. And you can see where neutral is right here in the green. And you can see that anything that direction is to be more acidic, anything this direction is to be more alkaline. So we obviously want to stay away from the yellow and the orange. We want to be over here in the purple, right? So let's just say, for instance, I'm orange, I'm really acidic. I start drinking my Kangen water, start eating fruits and vegetables, and I now go from here to here in 1 week. That means I'm now 10 times more alkaline. So let's say I do this for a month. And I go from here to here now. And if I go from here all the way to here, how much more alkaline would I be?
100,000, 10
A lot.
million maybe?
Yeah, very good. A lot. That was your answer, right?
Yeah.
A lot.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, well, let's save the questions to the end.
Okay, okay.
And hopefully I'll be able to answer it in the meantime. Because we're filming live. Okay, now, so yeah, most people answer that incorrectly. I say 90% of the people, so you got the star on that one. Most people say 70 times, but it's actually a million. So we're going to take a look at these beverages here to see where they are in the antioxidant quality. And so I got some pH drops. This is you know, the pool guy tests out a pool. He gets a sample of the water and he tests out to see whether it's alkaline or acidic. Okay, when it's acidic, what happens? Just like your body, it gets sickness and disease, right? Turns green, and then it gets really bad mosquitoes growing in there. So what the pool guy does, he comes in there and makes it alkaline, and all it clears up, just like your body. So here we go with dishonest water, or Dasani. Okay. Just get that mixed up a lot of times. Okay, so again, we want to be in the purple, not the orange. So as you can see, that's pretty orange, right? Now, I don't know about you, but people used to tell me all the time, drink a lot of water, it's good for you. But if you're drinking this type of water, and you've got cancer or gout, what's gout caused from? Uric acid, right? Or osteoporosis, okay, you're making it worse. Here's Aquafina, acidic, Life water, acidic, mystery water, acidic, Larry's water, a little more alkaline, okay? Filtered water, a little bit more acidic. Gatorade, acidic. Huh? Sure. Perrier, acidic. 7-Up, acidic. Tap water. Now, if you look at tap water is actually a neutral color, right? Now, don't get excited about that, because the reason that tap water is neutral is water is normally found in this state right here, very acidic. And by government mandate, to put lye in the water. Lye is one of the main ingredients in Drano. Lye is also the main ingredient in rat poisoning, right? But they put lye in the water because if water was in this state right here, very acidic, it would rust the pipes underneath your house. So the government's more concerned about the pipes underneath your house than about the pipes in your body. That's why it's this neutral color with the lye in it. So do we know about what lye is? If this was pure lye and I stuck my finger in here, after 60 seconds, it would eat my finger away. That's what they do to get rid of bodies. That's what I said when I used to murder people, I used to put, never mind. Anyway, just kidding. All right, here we go with the Kangen water, which is free of lye, free of chemicals. And as you can see, it's that nice, deep, rich purple color that you want. Now, what do you think would happen if I took a teaspoon of the Kangen water and put it into the dishonest water. You think I can get it to a bluish color? All right, let's try it out here. So take from an acidic state to an alkaline state. We go with Aquafina. Take from an acidic state to an alkaline state. Here we go with mystery water. Let's take a little bit more, but okay. Made a little more alkaline. You go with life water. Okay, take from make more alkaline. We go with mystery water. Okay, take from an acidic state to an alkaline state. Here we go with mystery water here. Okay, make that really alkaline. Here we go with this one. Okay, you see a theme here, right? Yeah, how about Gatorade? This is what athletes drink, right? This is represents your Propel, all your sport drinks. Here we go with Gatorade.
What?
What's in there that makes that happen?
A lot of acidic stuff. Okay, takes 25 glasses of the Kangen water just to neutralize or turn to green 1 glass of Gatorade. That's how acidic it is. Here we have some Perrier. This represents all of your sparkling waters, your San Pellegrino, Canada Dry, etc. Right? And here we go with Perrier. Keep your eyes on the Perrier. Don't take your eyes off it. Okay, there we go. We got the blue, right? Ooh. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Okay, there we go.
Wow, you poured it all out. Just
Yeah.
about.
What was doing there?
Well, whenever you
Chemically.
carbonate something, you're adding carbonic acid, right? So anything that's bubbly is very, very acidic. Okay, takes 19 glasses of the Kangen water just to neutralize or turn to green 1 glass of Perrier, San Pellegrino, etc. Here we go, tap water. Okay, make that alkaline. And here we go, Sprite representing all your soft drinks.
Also carbonated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Takes 32 glasses, 32, just to neutralize 1 glass of Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Mountain Dew, Red Bull. That's how acidic it is. Now we're going to take this 7-Up here, and take this small little cap, we take 1 little capful and put it into the dishonest water. Okay, just killed that. Here we go with Aquafina. Just killed that. Here we go with this one. Just killed that. Here we go with life water. Okay, kind of stir it up here.
How many soda drinkers do we have in here?
Yeah, I haven't had a soda in 10 years since I first saw this, believe it or not. Then you can see why. Here we go with mystery water number 1 here. Just killed that. Here we go with this one. Here we go with this one. Okay, here we go with tap water. And here we go with pure Kangen water. Okay, it's fighting it off, isn't it? Yeah, that's why cancer's overtaken heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States. A large drink just used to be, in the 1950s, what do we have? We had 8-ounce bottles. But 8 ounces wasn't big enough. So 1960, they came out to 12-ounce cans, right? Remember back in the days, all it was is cans, right? And that wasn't big enough. So around 1974, they came out to 16-ounce plastic bottles. That's when plastic was introduced, because 8 ounces wasn't big enough, 12 ounces wasn't big enough, we needed 16 ounces. And then guess what? 7-Eleven came out with what? Big Gulp. And the Big Gulp, 32 ounces wasn't big enough. So guess what they came out with? Super Big Gulp, 44 ounces. 3 years ago, they came out with what? You guys know?
The Mega Gulp.
Double Gulp, right. 64 ounces, okay? Did you see the 1 gallon one they have now? It's a bowling ball with handles. No, I'm just kidding. They don't have that yet. But see, what's even worse is what happens when you go to a fast food restaurant. Now they hand you a big cup, and they say, there's our fountain over there. Drink as much as you want. Bring some home for breakfast, too, because we really don't care. Okay? So that is the second property in the water. The third property in the water is microclustering. Now, H2Os group in clusters of 15, 20, even up to 100 parts per cluster. And a lot of times it's so large, they can't fit into the cells of your body. So a good example of that, have you ever exercised or you ran, and then you drank a lot of water, and you feel like swishing around your stomach? That's because the water molecules are so large, they can't fit into the cells of your body. So with the Kangen machine, it's able to break these water molecule clusters up So that they're anywhere from 5 to 6 parts per cluster. So if I took tennis balls, for instance, and threw them at a chain link fence, not many of the tennis balls can make it through. But if I threw marbles at a chain link fence, a lot of the marbles can make it through. The marbles represents the Kangen water, tennis balls represents regular water, and the fence represents the cells of your body. So I'm going to show you the microclustering in the water here. I got some tea bags, hopefully. Okay. Got some tea bags? I'm going to use one tea bag then. This is what you do when you only have one tea bag. So we got some cups here, right? And we have some Kangen water. We're going to put in cup glass 2. Okay. Okay, that's Kangen water. We got our tap water right here. We're going to put right here and right here. Okay. Then what we're doing is going to take our tea bag and put it over here. Okay. Now, let's make sure that everybody can see this. Okay. So here we've got our waters here. Here's our tap water, right? Nothing much happening, right? Take this now, put in the Kangen water. Okay. Tap water. Okay. Kangen water.
Wow.
So it's able to do that? That's because of the smaller water molecule clusters is able to penetrate the tea bag and pull that tea out. Now, Nobel Prize scientist Dr. Peter Agray says you need 5 to 6 parts per cluster in order to penetrate the cell wall. Okay? And that means that the Kangen water, because of the microclustering, you get 300% better hydration, detoxification, and oxygenation of the cells. Okay, we're going to check out the chlorine in the water here. We've got our tap water here. Ooh, there's some ones here. All right, so here we got our tap water. And take a little tap water here, okay? And we have our chlorine tester drops. We're going to test out to see how much chlorine is in the water here. Okay, so you guys see how much chlorine is in that water, right? This is the same water right here. It's in my mouth for 2 seconds, right? Test out the chlorine. Where'd the chlorine go? 100%.
In about 2 seconds.
And if I die, go try this at home because I'm a trained professional. All right. So what happens when you take a shower is you're opening up the biggest organ of your body, which is your skin, and you take in the chlorine content that's in 10 to 12 glasses of water every time you shower. Okay? Israel outlawed using chlorine in their water 10 years ago. And since then, there's been a 38% reduction in the cancer rate. Did you know what they used to do with chlorine in World War I? To make mustard gas, right? And when that mustard gas was used, it got into the ground, got into the roots of the plants, and they say not to buy any fruits or vegetables in that area here 90 years later because it can kill you, right? She knows. So when you wash your fruits and vegetables, guess what? The water runs right off, but the chlorine gets sucked into fruits and vegetables just like in my mouth. So that's why we have the shower filter also, which takes all that and makes you feel like you're taking a shower in lotion. You need lotion afterwards. It's really, really nice. And all of our machines eliminate the chlorine from the water. Now, this is what your body is made up of in water. Do we have some tomatoes?
Yes. They are behind you in the bag.
Okay. So we got some tomatoes here.
Actually, no.
There's a small cup right
There's
there.
a small
Still
cup.
right, there's some right there.
Okay. Those are probably used from earlier. So we got some tomatoes here. And we're going to take some tomatoes. And we'll pour some right here. And put these ones over here.
Are they organic?
No.
Does it matter?
Well, we'll make them organic. How's that sound? Okay. So we have our tap water here. We're going to wash these up in tap water. And these other ones, we're going to wash in our strong Kangen water. Okay. This is our 11.5. And just like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just agitate these a lot. Okay, like so. And so we have Kong in here, tap here, right? We're just gonna let those soak up and wash up for a minute. Now, this is Dr. Romy Shinya. Have you heard of Dr. Romy Shinya before? He's one of the top 5 doctors in the world today. The thing is, you never want to turn your back on him though, because he actually invented the colonoscopy. Thank you. Some of these jokes are just for me. You don't necessarily
got
have. Okay. Now, Dr. Shinya he's worked on the past 3 presidents. He also invented the core snare choreo device, which removes polypectomies and cancerous growths from the colon. And he's worked on over 400,000 patients. He has 3 Kong machines in his office. He won't take a patient unless they're drinking the Kong and water. Okay, that's part of their prescription. He's the only doctor we know of with the 0 reoccurrence of cancer with his patients. Now, these are some before and after pictures of some of the colons that he's worked on. This is a 52-year-old male with prostate cancer. This is before, and then 3 months after being on the Kong and water. This is a 45-year-old female with breast cancer and chronic constipation. This is before, and then 3 months after being on the Kong and water. Okay,
What are we looking at?
colons.
Okay.
Before and after colons, yeah.
Okay.
These aren't sewers, these are actual colons. Okay. This is a person with chronic constipation. This is before, and then 3 months after being on the Kong and water. Now, most doctors will tell you that the disease and sickness is caused from inside the colon, because what happens is, just like John Wayne, when he died, he had over 40 pounds of fecal matter in his colon. And what happens is it starts to toxify, get back into your bloodstream, and you end up with things like cancer and other things. But, and we know what our colon does. It actually brings nutrients in through the wall of the colon so we can use it. Our bodies can use it. Does it look like anything's going to be able to penetrate this? No. Okay. Now, Dr. Shinya, let me show you something here. So I have some sesame seed oil. All right. We didn't have this before. We got it now. This is sesame seed oil. It's about the darkest oil there is in the market. And we put a little sesame seed oil here, a little sesame seed oil here. Now, we take our tap water here. This is why it works good on body fat and things like that, losing weight. So if this was like fats and stuff, for the tap water in here, you see how the oil and the water separate, right? Just like you'd expect. Okay. Take the Kangen water. See how it's emulsifying it, right? Taking care of those fats. Now, this is directly related to the tomatoes. So we have our tomatoes over here that we are washing. And these tomatoes here are washing in the tap water. So we'll see if we're able to wash off the tomatoes. Okay. These tomatoes here have been washing in the Kangen water. Okay. You see a difference? What do we have here that we don't have here?
Yeah.
Give you a hint. We got pesticides and herbicides. Because when pesticides and herbicides were first used, they'd wash off in the rain. They have to spray them again. And then a week later, it rained again, they have to spray them again. And then they got smart. And they made them oil-based so they'd stick. So you wash with regular water, it's not able to emulsify the pesticides and herbicides off your fruits and vegetables. You wash with the Kangen water, it's able to emulsify the pesticides and herbicides off your fruits and vegetables. Now, I need a volunteer to drink this for me. Well, think about this. Drink this every day, right? Okay? We're not going to let you do it. No, I'm just kidding. I've got a brave soul in the audience here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a taste test here. This is the Kangen tomato. So I want you to notice the sweetness in the texture in the tomatoes. You like tomatoes?
Oh, yeah, but I did your test before and there's not that.
Okay, well, we got plenty this time. Okay, so notice the sweetness and the texture of the tomatoes. Okay, tastes pretty good. This is a tap water tomato like you normally do at home. There we go.
Who's the tap water?
I wish I had a camera to get people's facial reactions on these. Right? Oh, there it is. That's it, Larry. That's what I was looking for. Right? It's more like this.
Big difference.
Big difference, right? So when you wash your fruits and vegetables with the Kangen water, there's a big difference. And not only that, they last 4 to 5 times longer. So instead of lasting 5, 6 days, they're going to last, 14, 21 days. Because it actually donates this negative electron to the tomatoes, helping them last longer. And takes all the pesticides and herbicides out. If you cook with it, I don't know if you guys ever watched the TV show Iron Chef. Okay, you guys know who Chef Kai is? Used to be one of the regulars. Okay, he asked if he could try the water here in San Francisco, and he did. We gave him 15 gallons of the water. He made all of his rices, pastas, teas with the water. He's so impressed with the flavor in his foods that he got a Kangen water machine for each of his 4 restaurants. So amazing taste difference too. Now, this is a little boy with psoriasis talking about the 2.5 strong acidic water. He had psoriasis. He sprayed this on his skin just like this about 6 times a day. And you see the difference just in 1 month. This is a person with eczema who used Western medication for over 3 years. It wasn't getting much results there. And then he used a 2.5, and in 1 month you can see the difference by spraying this 2.5 on his skin. Again, you do it with all the cleaners in your house, all your 409s, bleaches, etc., and just use this and get amazing results. And you can do it with all those other bottled waters here too. 9 years ago, I was doing a demonstration in Washington, and one of the guys came up to me afterwards and said that his son got underneath the sink, drank Pine Sol, and died. Okay, so you do it with all the cleaners in your house, all your 409s, all your Windex, etc., and just use this. If a child were to drink this, they could drink a gallon of this. It's not going to hurt them. It's just water. Now, there's also 2 areas twice the size of Texas. Well, all these plastic bottles right here are gathered and decomposing in the middle of the ocean. And the amount of energy it takes just to create the plastic bottles in the United States alone could fuel over 1 million cars for an entire year. That's over 17 million barrels of oil. And on each bottle here, there's a number with a triangle with a number inside of it, which corresponds to the type of plastic it is. 1 being worst, 7 being best. These are all 1 plastic, which means it's full of BPA, synthetic estrogens, phytophthaleins, which leaches into the beverages and causes a lot of health problems. So that's really bad. So you definitely want to be drinking anything out of a plastic bottle. And the average time it takes for one of these to get consumed is about 1.5 years. And it sits there and it pulls all that calcium or the plastic into the beverage. But these are what some experts are saying. This is actually Dr. Robert Young, who's been featured on CNN News twice because he's getting such great weight loss stories from his patients drinking the water. He says on CNN News that when your body is acidic, you store body fat around your vital organs. And when you're alkaline, you burn that body fat up as energy. So he says it's not that people are overweight. He says they're over acidic. Here's some other books that have been written on the subject. This is Dr. Sang Wang says, removing acidic waste is more effective than diet and exercise alone. This is Dr. Shinya. Okay, now most doctors are lucky if they sell 5,000 or 10,000 copies of a book. Dr. Shinya came out with this book, and just in the first 4 months alone, he sold over 1 million copies in Japan alone. First year, he sold over 2 million copies. He's got over 5 million copies sold to date. And on page 159, he says, so how does one find good water with high reduction power? He says you can use electrical means to create water strong reduction capability, Kangen water. So the name's right here in his book. He says Kangen water is alkaline-rich water. It's considered the very best drinking water because of its incomparable powers of hydration, detoxification, and antioxidation. So that's from Dr. Shinya's book. Another great book here. The title pretty much says it all right there. Alkalize or Die. Da, da, da. This is by Dr. Theodore Brody, who's got some amazing credentials. And in the book, he says all disease comes from the same root cause, too much acidity. And on page 96, he says right here, I've administered over 10,000 gallons of this water for about every health situation imaginable. I feel that restructured alkaline water can benefit everyone. After years of very positive, continuous clinical experimentation with hundreds of clients using electronically restructured alkaline water, it is my opinion that this technology will change the way in which all healthcare providers and the public approach their health in the coming years. That's about as strong a statement a doctor can make in a book. This is another great book. The water puzzle on the hexagonal key, this is by Dr. Jun, who studied this water for 20 years. And in the book, he talks about how this water fights off cancer. This is also an experimentation that he did with dogs. And he found that dogs with more hexagonal Kangen water in them lived twice as long as dogs that didn't. It's like to live twice as long as your mom and dad. Right? This is an experimentation they did with tumors. They found when people drank regular water, the tumors grew by 4,000%. When they drank the Kangen hexagonal water, it decreased by 70%. This is, lastly, this is the director of the American Anti-Cancer Institute, Dr. Robert Wright. And he studied this water for 5 years. And he spent a whole chapter talking about this water. And in his books and in his lectures, he says, there it is, chapter 6 even. In his lectures, he says that if he were to get cancer, and also in the book, that if he were to get cancer, he would get, the first thing he would do is get the Kangen water SD51 machine. He says, if I were looking for an electrolysis unit today, I would choose the SD51 made by the Enagic company. It's simply the Rolls Royce of the water ionizers, okay? So and you think that he's making a lot of money, promoting this, but he makes zero money promoting this. You probably recognize this guy right here, right? This is Bill Gates. He has 27 doctors that work for him full-time on staff. And he got an autoimmune disease, and they suggested get the Kangen water machine, and he got amazing results. So he has 16 machines in one house. He's got one in his boat and his plane, and about 22 other machines. These are some people who have at least, who have a couple machines each. There's Magic Johnson of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's got 8 machines. Okay? He was supposed to die about 15, 20 years ago, right? Carlos Santana, when he performs on stage, he's got his Kangen water bottle up back here. And he's been known to, when he finishes a song, to get a drink of his water. And he holds his bottle up to the audience. He's been known to say, everybody should be drinking Kangen water. So now, I actually studied this water, and because I saw this demonstration, I was totally amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I did some research, and I found that there are 2 companies in the world out of Korea that make all the other 60 water ionizers. So they saw we were doing it for about 20 years, and they decided, hey, you know what, let's make a water ionizer, but let's make it really cheap, and that's the way we'll compete. So this is actually Emcotech and Royal Water. So Emcotech and Royal Water make all the other water ionizers in the world. Now, when I studied these 2 machines, I found that they're using 80 watts of power. The Enagic was using 230 watts of power. Now, according to Dr. Jun, in his book, The Water Puzzle on the Hexagonal Key, you need at least 120 watts of power in order to split the hydrogen off the H2O chain. And since they can't do that, all they do instead is add baking soda to the water. So they can't tell you that, so they lie to you. They say they have 2 filters. One of them's not a filter at all. All it does is add baking soda to the water, okay? So another thing too is these companies use SMPS technology. Never want SMPS technology. It stands for switch mode power supply. That means that while the water is being made, the machine is switching on and off, on and off. So when you get your glass of water, half of it's just plain filtered water, the other half is ionized water. With the Enagic machine, we use a transformer, so it makes 100% ionized water all the time. The SMPS technology has to shut down every 10 to 15 minutes of use. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't buy a car or computer if I had to shut it down every 10 to 15 minutes of use, right? That's not gonna be good. So with the Enagic machine, you can run it for 24 hours. It's never gonna overheat or anything. That's another thing. The power supply that we use is more expensive, but it's better for your machine. This is actually our engine here compared to theirs. It's actually 4 times the size of theirs. This is actually our engine here compared to theirs. Now, the more surface area the water is able to run across, and the higher the wattage and amperage, the more antioxidants you can create, and the stronger the bond in the water. So that's why we use pharmaceutical grade platinum and titanium. So we have 4 times the amount of pharmaceutical grade platinum and titanium in our machines, is to create a stronger bond and also to make the water last longer. This is actually our engine here compared to theirs. Okay, this is actually our plate inside of it. This is our platinum plate inside, and what we do is we actually embed our pharmaceutical grade platinum into pharmaceutical grade titanium through electromagnetic plating. So it's actually infused in there, so it never comes off the surface. With all these other machines, what they do is actually take a spray gun and they spray the platinum or this pharmaceutical, or they call it platinum. It's actually 30% platinum and 70% other metals. And they spray it onto this other piece of metal. It's like spraying your screen door with paint. Okay, eventually it's going to come off, right? Now, this is actually the Jupiter machine that you saw earlier. This person owned the Jupiter machine for 6 months, and they started feeling sick and started getting metal toxicity poisoning from it. So they gave us their machine, and they bought our machine. And when we opened their engine up on the machine inside, this is actually the corrosion that you see on the plates. Now, this other person that had the Athena machine, they had it for 12 months. They started feeling sick from it, so they gave us their machine and bought ours. And you can see the corrosion here on the plates. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my water running across these plates and then drinking the water. You can see why that person got metal toxicity poisoning. With our machine, ours is the only machine in the world that actually comes with a cleaning cartridge. Okay, no other machine has it. You put the cleaning cartridge on it, and it deep cleans the engine so that you don't get this to happen, or the corrosion on that happen. So also, our self cleans itself every 15 minutes of use. So let's just take the let's take the scenario that your machine started getting corrosion on it, and you need it cleaned off. With ours, you can send it to our office in Los Angeles, and we'll deep clean the engine for you and refurbish the whole machine for you for $45. Okay. With the other machines, in order to get to that, and by the way, we have both the plates here, pull out the plates here, we can clean those for you. With all the other machines, you have to cut it open with a knife to get to the plates. And once you do that, you can't put it back together. True story, I was flying from New York to Washington, D.C. to speak, and sitting next to me was the attorney for Whole Foods. And so we started talking because I wanted to just talk about GMOs and things like that. And so he finally turns to me, he says, "Hey, so what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I sell these Kangen water machines." He says, "Oh, I've got one of those. Mine's a Jupiter." I went, "Oh, okay." The next thing out of his mouth was, "This is my second Jupiter. The first one crapped out on me after 2 years." I said, "Oh." The next thing out of his mouth was, "I need to get my third one because this one's doing the same thing as the other one after 2.5 years." Okay, same thing. Now, these are actually in our office here in Los Angeles. Our machines, have been making water for over 14 years, same machines. They make over 3,000 gallons a day. So like workhorses. Any questions?
Explain to me about the lawyer. I didn't get that.
Okay, the attorney for Whole Foods,
Yeah.
he said that he has one of these machines, but his is a Jupiter,
Well,
another
what's a
brand.
Jupiter?
The brand I showed you earlier?
Oh, it's not your machine.
No.
Oh, I thought that was part of the name of your machine. I thought, well, why are you selling something that doesn't work? Okay,
I explained to him about ours, and now he's going to be getting ours.
okay.
Yeah. Because
So-
they simply don't last. You know, these machines, once they start clogging up and things like that, there's no real way that you can repair them. You can't get to the engine. You can't get to the
Okay,
plates.
I got it. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to, oh, by the way, I want to thank everybody for coming. And if you're interested in getting some more information, etc., we'll be glad to get that for you. And I want to thank everybody for coming. And any questions?
Hey, John, this is Sean.
Question?
Yeah.
John, just wondering if you could touch on that just a little bit, the basic on how there is no competition.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I basically touched on that there's no competition because all the other machines are made by Emcotech and Royal Water, and they all make the same machines. Just so if I were my own machine made, I call Emcotech or Royal Water. They're going to make me one of those machines I showed you earlier, and I can just I can call it John's Water Ionizers. But they all have SMPS technology. They got mesh plates. You never go on SMPS technology or mesh plates because you're just going to mess your machine up. So yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
So we bought a machine about a month ago, and maybe longer. We've been drinking it, and we checked the urine in the morning, and it actually went from extremely acidic to like about pH of 8. Is that a right way to do it? Is check the urine in the morning?
Yes.
Okay.
It's better, and the best way to check your pH is with your blood. But that's better way than the saliva. Saliva is not very good. Urine is better, and then you have, right?
Blood.
Yeah, blood. We have the nurse in here to
You have to
concur.
be, you have to be halfway dead to get that tested. Because it has to go through your artery and no doctor's gonna, you can't hit your artery unless a professional does it.
Okay, I don't want to take that
Well,
chance.
so the urine test is easy, so we just
Yeah,
do that
it's
in the
easy.
morning, and it was actually very dramatic, the difference. In fact, it was actually within a week.
Within a week, you saw the
I mean,
difference.
it went from, the litmus paper went from like a yellow color, literally to a dark brown, and not a dark green color. So that was pretty impressive, actually.
Very good. How do you feel?
Well, she's stage 4 cancer, so she's
Oh.
going through chemo, so she's not feeling great,
Okay.
but she's sustaining pretty well, and I'm drinking the water, and it's good.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
I always feel good.
Okay.
So,
Good.
She doesn't drink soda or, what does she
no,
drink normally?
she had a sweet tooth before, that the other issues.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take a 10-minute break and answer any questions, etc. And if anybody's here is interested in learning how they can get the machine paid for, I'll explain that too. I got my machine paid for the first month, and some people, want to get their machine and they're good with that. Other people want to learn how they get machine paid for. So if you are interested in learning that, I'm going to be talking about that in about 10 minutes, and we'll take a break. How does that sound? All right.
What I'm gonna
Thank
do
you.
is I'm just gonna pass around, just go ahead and just sign this. I know all of you, but.
Your bathroom,
if I
right?
could just get your email and phone number.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Explain everything in about 10 minutes, so
That
we'll
was-
take a break.
Sounds good. That was great.
Where are you at, John?
Montreal.
Okay.
If you'd like me to sign you up with a free ebook.
And then next Wednesday, following Wednesday, we'll be in Salt Lake City, Wednesday night and also Thursday night.
And I've got a lot of information.
And then I'll be in, the following week, I'll be in Dominican Republic. And then the week after that, I'll be in Seattle doing demonstrations Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I'll be in Sao Paulo, Brazil, doing demonstrations 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of March.
Are you going to Zoom any of those, John?
Just a slow minor travel schedule.
Globetrotter.
Yeah.
Trotter.
Okay.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
I know the ORP quote.
Mhm.
I noticed that you clean it with the acid water.
Mhm.
And I wonder if that is a trick, because when I just clean it with tap water before I use it,
2 hours.
oh, okay,
Yeah, that's from my own faucet.
okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be starting up here. Those
I
of
was
you guys,
gonna pass
Oh.
around this list, is that okay?
Yeah.
So what this is it's
you're starting in 2 minutes.
it's a list of monthly savings. There was a family that put this together. They had 2 adults, 4 pets, and 1 child. And basically, it's a list of things that they no longer have to use or buy as a result of having their machine. And so it's a savings up here on the top of what they save monthly, and then over a period of a year. But then the machine will last you around 30 years. So I'll go ahead and pass this
Okay, the
around.
2.5 for cleaning is amazing. So in the kitchen, we had the oil on top of the cleaner. Like, normally the scrub it like crazy, even with that stuff, this thing you spray on, just wipe it off and smooth. It's insane.
Yeah. Right? That's why you see like Chick-fil-A wants to buy
And
these.
the kitchen counter, you just spray this stuff. Just wipe it off.
You said the hood of your fan hood?
Yeah, on top, like oil.
2.5?
Yeah,
Like it's greasy?
it's the greasy part. You just spray the stuff. You just wipe it off, and it's clean. It's spotless.
How long have you had your machine for?
About 2 months. About 2
A
months,
month
around
and a half, 2
November.
months? Yeah. Okay.
November.
So wouldn't 11.5 work as well on that?
No,
Yeah.
you want a 2.5.
2.5 works better?
Yeah, so when you make the 11.5 water, the other two give you 2.5.
Right.
So here is also a list of beneficial uses, of different uses of the water. I'll pass this around this way.
But okay, so the cost breakdown of this machine is about 32 cents a day. So for 32 cents a day, you're getting all the drinking water you want, all the cleaning water you want, all the disinfecting water you want for 32 cents a day for you, your friends, family, relatives, etc.
You know what a tough thing was? we spent like $10,000 when we built a house to put in the water filtration system and a reverse osmosis system, and the water come out extremely acidic.
Yeah.
So, so I hired a plumber and I pulled it out.
Mm.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago. Just like now I get all the space under the kitchen sink. Which is great.
Well, the Dasani, the Aquafina, those are reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
Anything reverse osmosis or distilled is going to be very acidic. Okay, so I'm going to start back up here real quick. I'm only going to take 10 minutes doing this, so it's going to be very quick and easy. I saw this demonstration, and I started drinking the water, and I started seeing results. And I told my friend I want to buy a machine, so I went ahead and I said, listen, I want to buy a machine. And my friend, in the first 6 months, he made over $250,000 selling these machines. And quite frankly, he didn't want anything to do with his business. What happened was he came back for a month for vacation, and he had 23 checks in the mail for $285. He was on vacation that whole month, bought his machine, and then immediately left for vacation. He's like, where do these checks come from? Well, his friend bought the machine from him, and it helped his parents out with their arthritis. And so the dad said, I don't care how much the machine costs, I want one in my office tomorrow. And so his son got excited and told all his friends about it. And that month he sold over 23 machines to his friends and relatives. So my friend Bob's like, well, I didn't do any work for these checks. So he started marketing the machine and made over $250,000 for 6 months. So I said to Bob, I said, listen, I'm thinking about doing this as a job also, because that's pretty incredible money. And I said, how many machines did you actually have to sell personally to make $250,000? He said, I've only sold 12 machines personally. After my head spun around, I said, okay, I want to buy one. I want to do this. So with the Enagic business, there's no sign-up fee. There's no employees. There's no monthly qualification. There's no stocking and loading of inventory. There's no annual renewal. You're paying every month, every year, etc. There is a cumulative sales. There is international sponsoring. There's many ways to earn income, and it pays daily. Now, the company came out with this 8-point commission system where 1 point equals $340. So if you had a pie, and you divide it into 8 pieces, and each piece of the pie equals $340, that kind of gives you a visual, right? So the first 2 people you're able to help out, you're at 1A, and they give you 1 piece of the pie, which is $340. On your 3rd person you're able to help out, you're at 2A, they give you 2 pieces of the pie, which is $680. Once you're able to help a total group of 10, okay, then you move up to 3A, you make 3 pieces of the pie, or 1020. Once you're able to help a total group of 20, then you move up to 4A, you make 4 pieces of the pie, or 1360. Once you're able to help a total group of 50, you move up to 5A, you make 5 pieces of the pie, or 1700, okay? Once you're able to help a total group of 100, you move up to 6A, you make 6 pieces of the pie, or 2040. So I'm gonna use myself as an example, okay? I'm gonna use my true life story here. I got the machine, and the first guy I was able to help out was a guy named Bruce, and I made $340. And the nice thing about it is that goes 8 pieces of the pie down. So when Bruce helps out his friend Steve, and Steve helps out Mary, and Mary gets a machine, and Mary helps out Susan, and Susan gets a machine, I just made $340 each one of those, and so did Bruce. Now, my second person I was able to help out was my dad. My dad got the machine, and I made $340. My dad has helped out 11 people individually, and then those people helped out other people who helped out other people. So there's over 185 people that got help through my dad directly or indirectly through him. So to me, that was basically 185 checks that I got for $340 just for my dad. Not bad, right? The third person I was able to help out was my business partner, Ryan. Now, Ryan has 3 slipped discs in his back and 2 herniated discs. He said after 2 weeks drinking the water, he said 90% pain and discomfort was gone. So he got the machine. I made $680. Ryan also has helped out a total of 11 people personally, which turned into over 65 people getting the machine. So to me, that was 65 checks I got for $680. Okay. Now, once I'm able to get a total group of 10, so if this guy helps out 2, this guy helps out 2, and this guy helps out 2, then on my next direct person I was able to help out, I'm at 3A and I'm at 1020. Okay. Once you're able to help a total group of 20, then you move up to 4A, you're at 1360. Once you're able to help a total group of 50, okay, I'm right here, and I brought my machine up to Seattle, Washington. I showed my mom. So I got my mom in the room with my brother. I did the demonstration. They thought I was crazy, right? Relatives are the hardest people to convince, right? My mom was like, what? You paid how much for that machine? And then walked out the door, right? And we all know that our relatives are very difficult because they think, what does he know about water, right? So, but the very next day, I went and showed my friends Darren and Rosalind, and they bought the machine. Okay, I made $1,700. Darren and Rosalind have now sold over 2,000 machines. So it starts to add up, right? It took my mom 6 months. She got the machine finally because it really helped out with her high blood pressure and her Dupuytren's disease. She got the machine. I made $1,700. My mom now has sold over 2,000 machines. You see, it starts to add up, right? Once you're able to help a total group of 100, then you move up to 6A, and you're 2,040. Now, 6A is where everybody wants to be because what they do when you become 6A, they actually give you a bonus. I'm sorry, once you become 6A, every sale that you make after that becomes a 6A lane. They make it 2,040. And it also releases a $200 educational bonus because you saw from the previous screen that you didn't make any money after the 8th point, right? Once you become 6A, you make $200 from the 9th point, 10th point, 11th point, all the way down to infinity. That's our $200 educational bonus. Now also, once you become 6A, the day you become 6A, you make certain requirements, they actually give you a $3,000 bonus. And then once you're able to help 2 people become 6A underneath, they give a $6,000 bonus, etc. Okay. Now, this payment system is so powerful and so unique that we actually patented it so no other company can use it. So that's our patent right there because it's got to be very, very specific and individual in order to patent something. Now, again, we're growing faster than Microsoft, Apple, and Starbucks combined. That's why this is like a sleeping giant that's about to wake because not many people know about it, right? But this is a trend scale. Every trend items are things that everybody has. But when trend items first come out, nobody really purchases it until it hits a 3% market share. And that's when the sales almost go vertical. Now, what are things that are trend items? What are things that everybody in this room has? Cell phones. Cars. Well, not everybody has cars, but how about cell phone, microwave, computers, cell phones, playing Family Feud. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. So, yeah, and yet we're growing at the rate we are, and yet we're not even at 1% yet. When it's 3%, that's when it's going to go crazy. Now, this is the last slide of the evening. This is why everybody's succeeding at this. First of all, it's new great timing. I did a demonstration in this woman's house in Annapolis, Maryland, who got the machine, but she told me that her business partner, who lived in Seattle, said, hey, listen, there's this company called, this was 30 years ago, this is a company called Starbucks. They're selling stock. They opened up their first coffee place, and the stock is $4,000. So from Seattle, he sent her coffee and a mug, Starbucks mug, right? So she didn't buy the stock, but he did. 24 years later, he sold the stock for $25 million. Why? Because it's new great timing, just when it came out. Got it right when it came out. You want to get, that's why you want to get in the beginning. Also, rock solid company. We've only been in business for, we've been in business for about the past 14 years in the United States. Rock solid company of over $100 million in the bank reserves. Been in business for over 40 years. We're not going anywhere. Outstanding products. This is the most important thing up here. Puppy dog marketing approach. That means if I was selling $500 and I said to my neighbor, listen, can you watch this puppy dog for me? You and your family and your kids, I'll be back in a month. Then I come back in a month. Am I going to get that puppy dog back? No. That actually happened to my brother. He paid $500 for the dog. Okay? We do the same thing with the water. We give people the water for 2-3 weeks. They're coming back saying, oh my gosh, I lost 20 pounds. I'm feeling like aches and pains are going away. Do you think they'll buy the machine? Of course. Okay? Puppy dog marketing approach. No selling involved. Also, phenomenal compensation program, high-powered overrides and bonuses. The target market is baby boomers, and it's simple and duplicatable. So, in closing, do you guys know who Tony Robbins is? Okay. You guys know who Rob Kiyosaki? He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then there's T.R. Becker, wrote the book Millionaire Mind. Okay. These guys travel all over the world. They have motivational speaking seminars. You pay anywhere from $400 to $10,000 for the weekend to hear these guys, right? But guess what? They all teach the same thing. They teach that if you want to make it in today's world, you need to get a job that makes you passive income. So what's passive income? They call it mailbox money, right? Residual income. That means you're sitting at home, you're getting checks in the mail, and you don't know where they come from, but you might know where they come from, but you're not doing any work. You're getting that money in. So T.R. Becker talks about in his book, The Millionaire Mind, even if you got a vending machine at a high school, okay, the kids are going in there putting money in the vending machine. You're not doing any work, but you're making money. Rob Kiyosaki talks about in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He says if you got a house and the mortgage is $1,000, but you're renting it out for $2,000, that means you're making residual income of $1,000 a month. This is the best thing I've ever seen as far as making residual income. I make about 50 checks this month. Most of them I don't even know where they came from. But anyway, we do have financing. So you can finance a machine. I usually work with like Citibank. They do interest free for 12 to 21 months with a 680 credit score or better.
Chase also.
I'm sorry?
Chase.
Chase also. And but what I tell people too is that if all you need is to help 8 people out with their health, get their machine, and your machine's paid for. And on average, every machine that I've sold personally, that person sold 30 machines to other people. So if you got 8 people that bought the machine and they do 30, that means that's an extra, that's 240 machines, that's an extra $60,000 a year. So I want to thank everybody for coming. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'd be glad to answer them. And we have the order forms. You can get your machine in 2 days. We also help you install it and everything. It has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not completely satisfied, we'll help you get all your money back. And we'll be back in about another month, back up here. It's doing demos. And you can also get, if you want to see another demo, we'll be doing live on Zoom. So you can watch them online in Brazil, or we'll be in Montreal. We'll be in March. So thank you everybody for coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, if you'd like to see the machine.
Great job, buddy. Great job.
Great presentation.
Yeah. Has anybody not seen the machine?
Can you show them how it works with
Oh,
the
sure.
tap water?
Oh,
Because
sure,
that's what
yeah.
he was.
Hey, John, can I make one comment?
Hang on. Yeah. Can you see me?
No, but can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't. It went dark on me. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
No.
I can hear you. I can't see you though.
Well, can you see my little screen there? It's the system
Nope.
based.
Hang on a second. Okay, there we go. How's that?
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Okay.
I'd like to get people to think of something.
Yeah.
So, can you point the camera towards and get everybody's attention for 2 seconds? And if I'm not speaking loud enough, maybe repeat it.
Yeah, they're checking out the machine in the other room. But go ahead.
Okay, so how many guests do you have there approximately, or new people?
About 10.
Okay, can you kind of gather them or no?
Give me a minute and I can probably do that.
Okay, no problem. When the timing's right, just gather them. I want to show them. I want to put a picture in their mind for 2 seconds.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
No chemicals in these. And the 7.0 water is for like if you're baby, or if you're taking time-release medication that has, like say, pain med, and you don't want it all to be, gone in, right away. So you drink the clean water and it's not microclustered. Now to get the 2.5 waters down here, the only thing that's done
You're so
is
silly.
water that anything is.
Are you playing with your blocks?
The 2.5 water that smelled like chlorine and the 11.5 water, we put in here a little cartridge of saline solution. So basically it's salt because salt conducts electricity. When you put this in here, and with the powerful ionization process, it will change it, it'll push it to either ends of the spectrum. So you've got the 2.5 and the 11.5. And that's all we use for that. The rest of the waters, the drinking water, it's only the ionization process with the electrolysis. So there's no chemicals. In fact, Do you all know the difference between alkaline water and alkalized water? This alkaline water is achieved through chemicals, and this is alkalized water. So, right?
Yeah.
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 Alkaline and alkaline.
All the
Two different things.
all the waters you see in the Whole Foods and stuff, and that
It's alkaline 8.0 and stuff like that.
all it is water and baking soda.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any
Chemicals.
oxidants. It's not.
And you
Micro-
shouldn't drink that very long. It might, and the other thing is some of the water, it might be going in as like say the 9.5 water, but it's been in that plastic for months to a couple of years. It's not gonna be, it might be that going into it, but it's not, it doesn't test out. It still tests out.
How long does this last?
What, this
The-
machine?
Yeah, no, the water when it comes out of the machine.
So when it comes out of the machine, it lasts for about 2 days because the antioxidant properties dissipate within about 48 hours, 72% dissipate. So the best way to
That's
get
the ORP.
the best way to get your water, the best water is to get it fresh from your own machine. The second best is to do a trial like Karen's doing, but you're only getting half of the properties of the water. You're still, it's not, but it's the next best thing to owning one. is
The
to
alkalinity
get
stays good for
secondhand.
5 or 6 years, though.
Okay.
The antioxidants diminish about
2 days.
50% in a 24-hour period, 2 days, 3 days, and then the microclustering lasts about 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
What kind of maintenance needs to be done for that?
So the only thing you need to do is this machine is amazing. It has what happens is it will do an inner cleaning by itself, lasts about 10 seconds. And then once a month, you take this out and it'll tell you what to do, e-cleaning, and then it'll tell you, to do. And so you basically you put something in here and it comes with the machine when you get it. And then you take this out and you put in another cartridge with citric acid in it. And it will just go into the machine and it takes about 3 hours, but it runs you step by step.
And how often do you have to do that?
Once a month. Depending on your water source.
It's not difficult, I've done it.
Yeah, because it just takes you, put 2 packets of the citric acid, it takes you step by step.
And how often do you have to put the saline water in
So this lasts me, this whole thing, using all my
Sean, you there?
cleaning supplies.
Yeah, I'm there.
This for
Ready?
tons of things. This will last me.
Yeah, I'm ready. And make sure that you mention
About $2.50. $2.
that it makes what she's talking about makes the machine last 30, 40 years if you do it once a month.
How do you, if you wanted to shower with that, is it a whole other unit for the bathroom or?
Yes, we have the Anespa. In fact, I have the Anespa.
My window is closing to be able to do
Wash
that.
with it. I barely use any lotion on my skin, but it's kind of like taking a mineral bath, but it's pulled the chlorine and the lye out of the water that your body would ordinarily absorb. I recommend it highly. I like using it because I just feel so much better. I don't have to always lotion up.
So it's connected to your shower?
Yes, it's just like a canister. And do you have a picture of it, John?
Yeah.
So 2 separate units, 2 separate prices.
Right. Yeah. A lot of times people will start out with the drinking because, but if you get the drinking, you can buy the shower unit from yourself and get it at a discount. So
And did you guys get the price of the unit already? I wasn't here the first 15 minutes.
this one's $49.80, but it's about $50 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they range anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 depending on your needs. So I have a guy in Montreal that just wanted to say something. Sean, you there? Sean, you there?
Yes, I am. I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, can I get your attention real quick? Can I have your attention real quick? I was Sean, just one of the guys in Montreal. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay, great, guys. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I want everybody to consider something. I'm Sean. Hi, guys. So I want you to consider something. Okay. This business, this is my little girl, Arya Kay. And guess where we are, right? And here's her. Even unicorns have to go to bed, right? So here we are, okay, together in our home, listening to you from Montreal, watched the demo. Now, really, what's the difference between us getting the information in the room with you or at home? I still got the same information, right?
Yep.
So what I'm trying to say is you can invite people globally, and that's the movement that the leaders in the room are starting to move with here, that we're starting globally together. And so it allows you to invite people daily and weekly and monthly and yearly globally. And so if you think that on a basis of 10 times 10, right, is 100, you're up to 6A, making $2,000 a sale. And all you really did was followed a system that worked for you, which is the experts in the room tonight, giving the information to the people so that families can build around the globe. Now, I want you to consider, I'm with my little girl until noon every day. I have trouble getting her to daycare because we have so much fun. We go skating. I give her breakfast. And I think that, you know, families in North America need more of this. So I just wanted to give a visual on that concept, John, that this is really what we're doing is not only are we getting health, but we're creating a financial movement system-based that you can invite families globally that don't like sales to be able to invite people and get the information like we did tonight. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. I just wanted to add that in.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Thanks, guys. Great presentation. Thank you.
I tried to take a picture of her and it went
She's so
to,
cute.
yeah.
She looks just like him.
John, is the K8 self-cleaning, or do you have to use the once a month, like on SD501?
Once a month. But it cleans itself every 15 minutes of use without having you have to turn and run water
Well,
through
so
it.
does the SD501.
No.
Right.
The SD501 says notice of cleaning,
Right.
and then you turn it on, run water through it. With the K8, it never does that. It just cleans it automatically.
Okay.
So once you
still have to use a citrus cleaner on it?
Yeah, once a month.
As well? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's totally separate from the notice of cleaning. I have to do that separately.
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
I can walk you through that as well.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
It's super easy. I can do it over the phone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to say that I have been drinking water 7.5 years, and originally I got the machine because our son was going to the doctor and having a lot of physical problems. And the doctors were pretty much telling us, well, take this medication, that medication. And I would say, well, is this going to help? And they weren't really even taking very many tests. And he'd say, well, you can try it if you want, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. And I wasn't good with that. That just didn't sit well with me. So I started, my girlfriend had talked to me about it a couple of years before. I wasn't ready to hear about it. And finally, after my son, he'd lost 30 pounds one year and he just looked gaunt. He had dark circles and he was always uncomfortable. He was in pain. And so I called Rosalind and I said, I'd like to see that. So she had me over, she showed me the machine, we got on the water, we started drinking it. I didn't really notice too much, but we had a boxer also that he had such bad arthritis, he couldn't even walk. We were carrying him outside to go to the bathroom. He had so many physical ailments. He had ulcers on his eyes. They looked like cataracts. His eyes were white. He was always getting allergy shots, but I started giving him the water as well. And before I knew it, I noticed he started walking a little different. Now, he was a 9-year-old boxer, so he wasn't like a puppy. And I had a holistic doctor, I had a veterinarian, I had an allergy doctor. I even would get him adjusted sometimes. This poor guy would know.
I had lots of bills.
We would go to the vet. It wasn't uncommon to drop $500 just on this dog, but he knew this was my baby. And so it was like I never even asked him. He just knew. I'm writing the check. So we get him on the water. I don't think anything about it, but we're carrying him outside to go to the bathroom because he's just so arthritic. Next thing I know, and we bought a puppy. We bought Klitschko. Mm-hmm. And the next thing I know, he's walking differently. So I say to the kids, let's take him for a walk. He goes for a walk. I was doing dog hikes then, and my friends talked me into taking him. And I said, They said, well, we'll turn back if you need to, but let's take him on the hike. He started hiking with us, and his longest hike was 6.5 miles. But the funny thing is, the doctor had said, go take him to an ophthalmologist. He's got ulcers because his eyes were white. So I did, and for $300, she told me, yes, he has ulcers. That'll be about a $900 surgery with medication, and I'd just gotten this puppy. And I thought, boxer puppies are very playful, and he's going to be jumping on him. And so I thought, I'd remember a story I'd heard about a woman who had a horse and gotten its eye caught in a barbed wire fence. And the eye got so infected that they had to, the vet came out and was going to remove it. It's just done. So someone I know said, take this 2.5 antibacterial water and spray it. Let's just see. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't, no guarantees. I'm not, I'm not a doctor. Let's try this, right? And so she tried it in the horse's eyes 3 times a day for about 4 weeks. The vet came out, and instead of removing the eye, said, I don't know what you've done differently, but it's completely healed. So I started spraying this in my dog's eyes. But my vet was very much against it. He said, don't do that. You're going to burn his eyes. I knew it would be okay. So months later, I go in, and it's been a long time since these shots because he's been drinking the water, but he can't tell me what he's going through. But I'm noticing his fur looks different. He just looks better. He just looks, I don't know what it is. It was so gradual, because it's not a magic pill. It's something as your body balances, it starts to heal itself. So he's walking better. His eyes are turning brown again. I forget about the eyes, and I take him in for an allergy shot because I'm feeling guilty that it's been so long. And I go in for and the vet says, oh, wow, it looks like, the surgery went well. And I said, well, no, remember that water I told you about? I sprayed this in his eyes. He says, well, that's impossible. I said, okay, well, then since I'm here, I'm going to take advantage of my visit because they charge you regardless. I said, I'll take my allergy shots. He says, well, you can if you want, but he doesn't need it. And I looked and I saw his fur. It just was like an aha moment for me. The light turned on. And I looked and I realized his chest used to be, because it was white, it was always irritated red and kind of, scratched a lot. But it looked almost like the fur was growing back in. It looked new. It was like, almost fluffy, like puppy fur. And then he was walking with us. A 9-year-old boxer, which they tend to have a lifespan of 8 to 10 years if they're healthy. He lived another 3 years. But I got him off all of his meds. There was nothing he was on. He was the healthiest he'd ever been. And when he finally passed away at almost 12, he laid down one night, went to sleep, and that was it. He didn't struggle. I didn't have to put him down. That was it. And I don't know. You can't get the placebo effect from a dog. He couldn't tell me. I would just give him the water, and then spray. I sprayed the beauty water. I sprayed this. And that was it. No vet bills. So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, and my allergies went away too. And my hot flashes went away. And it's so much more fun to be around, right?
Right, honey.
Good answer.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, I know you mentioned it earlier, and because this is being recorded and because we're putting it on the website, I just want to make the disclaimer once more at the end of the video here that we don't claim to cure, medicate, prescribe, heal, diagnose, treat, mitigate, nothing. But however, when you give the body what the body needs, it tends to self-correct. And so with the diets of North America today, we're feeding ourselves so many things that are, altered, that I think basically the outcome here is that you're giving yourself pure water. And so you're giving your body what it needs to counteract what's going on in society. So again, no claims to cure, medicate, prescribe, heal, treat, diagnose, or mitigate. But again, you give the body what it needs, and it tends to self-correct because it's a very powerful machine. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
I'm gonna head out, guys. Thanks for a great night.
Thanks.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Is that Sean McCullough?
Sean Denner.
We're going out of town, so I'll talk to you about that.
Okay, yeah. We will talk tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, are you driving or flying?
We're fine.
You're flying
It's
Florida.
Florida for
Yeah.
a week.
Okay.
Yeah,